Hello again and welcome to episode 15 of GoK Q&A, our weekly roundtable discussion podcast where we tackle the hard and sometimes offensive issues that society won't. Each member brings their questions to the table and we do our best to answer them. If you'd like to be a part of the show, please email us your questions to gokqanda@gmail.com. That's gokquanda@gmail.com. I'm your host, Govinda Whitehurst, and sitting across from me, as always, the PC to my Mac, Mr. Khayl Adam.
But I see your true colours shining through. I see your true colours, and that's why I love you.
Dude, I love you too, man.
It's a beautiful song.
Fuck. I was coming in hot to just shred you today, and you really just quelled the savage beast in me.
Look, Cyndi Lauper, she could tame any beast with that beautiful voice. And that ass.
It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And that ass, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
We're back again. I don't think it needs to be said.
But you're saying it anyway.
I know, but I kind of like it.
Like an insecure child on the playground, like, yeah, I'm fat. What of it? What? I'm fat.
Yeah,
You're gonna make fun of me? Look, I'm gonna eat this donut because I'm so fat.
You just say it before anyone else can. It's pretty. I don't know if anyone's seen 8 Mile. It's very Marshall Mathers, so it's very chill that way.
What did you ever do with your life that was so good, Rabbit?
That's not what I was referring to.
Oh, okay.
I was referring to the final rap battle where he comes on stage and just starts shredding himself, but then at the end it's just like, so what?
Yeah, it's
and
pretty
then
good.
The other guy comes on, he's got nothing to rip him about, and then he wins the rap battle.
Who's the chickie bangs in the factory?
She's dead now.
Wow.
We don't talk about her.
That's actually
it's Brittany Murphy.
That's actually really devastating.
Yeah, she was actually real good in Sin City.
Yeah, she was too.
So yeah,
pour some out for her.
Don't pour any of that out. Actually, not near the electronics.
Okay.
We're back.
We're back.
Hey everyone. We're gonna do that thing again where someone asks a question and then we try to answer and then nothing really happens after that.
Yep.
And then we continue that indefinitely until we stop.
We sort of talk in circles and dig ourselves into metaphorical and sometimes physical holes that we can't get out of.
Khayl tries to invade me physically and mentally.
And sexually.
That was the physical part.
Well.
He likes to get at least 2 knuckles deep.
At least 2 knuckles. If it's not at least 2, you're not doing it right.
I reckon you're going to start us again, Khayl.
I do also always seem to come first.
Yeah, I know. It's a problem. You should work on it. Deep breathing into your diaphragm is the key. Yeah, that's slower. No, not the breathing.
The knuckles. Okay, Govinda. Today, look, we have to dance around this one a little bit because I don't know if it's going to be controversial, and it shouldn't be. But here's the thing: I think sports are dumb.
See,
look,
this is interesting because I've been telling you for a long time that you should just enjoy NFL, and here's why.
No. Let me rephrase my question, please. Why should I care about sports? Because for my entire life, I've been surrounded by them and by people that like them. They've never grabbed me.
But you've never...
And the people that like them, and this is where it gets a little controversial. No, they're actually okay. Pull back real hard.
Yeah, you pull back, because I know for a fact there's people that you enjoy in the world that love sports.
But I think that's the interesting part, because you didn't like sports until you moved to Brisbane.
That's not true. I didn't not like sports. I just didn't follow sports.
It did seem like suddenly a couple of years ago, when we were like in our mid-20s, a lot of my friends got into sports, and I was just kind of left going like, well, no. We didn't like sports. Like, all of us together didn't like sports.
Incorrect, because I did like sport. I played sport.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
How old?
I played soccer for like 3 years.
Oh, you did do that, didn't you?
Yeah.
But see, I guess I kind of like blanked that out.
I played competitive soccer, competitive touch football, competitive volleyball.
How's that touch football for you?
It was fucking fun, actually. I'm going to be telling you honest. It was so fun. No flags. It's just touch. Like, you really got to touch me. I think that was my favourite part, was when I got touched.
Touch me.
Yeah. But yeah, I've played multiple competitive sports. I find it very fun. Funner to play than to watch, but watching it's also fun.
But
But here,
a big concern for me is like the watching without the playing. I kind of did forget that you did play some sports.
yeah, I know you did.
It's still really dumb.
Yeah, I know. I don't understand. This is what.
We didn't do our vocal warm-ups. Let's take them right now. The tip of the tongue.
No, we don't do
the
that.
teeth,
We don't. No, leave the curtain. Leave the curtain shut, dude.
the lips.
Leave the curtain shut. No, see, here's why I think it's almost. Have you heard of cognitive dissonance?
I have.
It's when you feel something, but your actions are like it's just mismatched cognitive responsive to thing. Anyway, I feel like you've got some cognitive dissonance with sports because in the end they're just games.
They're not.
They are.
They are.
They are.
You know what the beauty is?
What?
I know you so well that I anticipated you saying that.
But they're just games. You try and get a score.
Sport in the UK or sports in the US are all forms of usually competitive physical activity or games, which through casual
Or games. Done.
or-
Check and
or
mate.
organised participation aim to use, maintain, or improve physical ability and skills while providing enjoyment to participants and, in some cases, entertainment for spectators.
Is your brain not a physical aspect of your body?
It is, but that's a different thing. Are you comparing, like, yeah, a sport is a game?
See,
like
this
a
is
fucking-
where it gets dicey. Is we have to start defining sport.
It's not a video game. That's what you're going to try and
No.
compare it to.
But the theory, like you're trying to win something.
At a base level, but I will argue till my dying breath that video games are an art form. There's a difference between a sport and an art.
But no, the video game itself is art, but what you are doing in it isn't.
Isn't
You are
it?
participating in it. In something that's already created. You're not creating anything, unless you're playing a game that is based around creation, but you hate Minecraft and shit like that.
I think
so-
we get back to then the watching versus playing. Because playing a game, you are actually invested, whereas watching something, you might as well be watching.
I did say this to you yesterday, though. Like, you like Total War, and I said I almost prefer watching Total War to playing it.
That's fair, and I prefer watching League of Legends to playing it.
So
And
I'm-
even then, I don't even enjoy watching it. But I'd still prefer it.
So, like, and then we break away from the video games, and then I start looking at, like, NFL is derived from war, old time war. And
Not
like,
really.
No, it is. Bear with me.
No, it's not.
No, it is. And that's why it's there, is because when the war stopped, they needed something else to do, and that's where football
them
came
fit.
in.
Yeah, that's fair.
And so this is how it is. Offensive line is your front line. Offensive and defensive lines are your front line of a war. You're like
battle.
infantry battle. I don't know how you want to call it.
A war's a grand scale. A battle's
You've
the
got your
individual.
wide receivers, which are your cavalry, and they're made for flanking.
I can see that.
You've got your quarterback, who's your general,
Keep him safe.
right? And then you've got your tight end, which I don't know what they would be, like fucking your archers or some shit. Doesn't make
Medical
any sense.
support.
Doesn't matter. They're just one person. So the whole idea is the general is to complete their objective of getting, let's say, a bomb to their base.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I can see that, but like it's...
So the strategy involved is something that I think that
It's just so reductive to all the people that have actually fought in a battle.
it's not reductive. I just thought that you would appreciate the tactics involved in it.
I would, but there is no... It's like my problem with surfing. It's like surfers get together every day and they talk about something that is like... There's no subjectivity to it. Like, either someone wins or they don't, and they either do well or they don't. And yet there's like, people just talk about sports like there isn't that much strategy.
If you understand NFL, there is entirely so much strategy.
How many
they
games?
have playbooks that are huge, and you just got like hundreds of plays you got to decide from, and so you've got to read what your defense is doing to figure out what you should do in offense, and then in a split second be like, this isn't going to work what we've planned based on what I'm looking at.
I get that. And that's all well and good, but how many variations are there? 1,000? How many
of
plays
what?
could you possibly come up with? Because they always seem to fall to the same thing.
It's inevitably, like, in reality, I'm going to say hundreds of thousands. The amount of plays you can do.
To me, it all just looks the same. And as to your analogy,
But this is because you don't you don't take the time to get into it, so you don't actually see any difference. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, people watch you play games like they look the same to me. It's because they don't
That's true.
care,
That's true.
you know? They don't
My
take the
thing
time.
with the battle analogy, like, they always play on a field that's always the same. So terrain isn't an issue. There's no, like, I guess you could...
Weather's an issue.
I guess that's true.
Wind,
but
snow,
they wouldn't play in
rain. They do,
wouldn't-
every time. Games don't get cancelled unless it's like a...
What about hailstorms or acid rain? They're going to play in that?
They've paused the game because there's lightning too close to the stadium.
Interesting.
But they've played in heavy snow, and the only reason that they wouldn't play is if the snow is so intense that literally people can't leave their houses.
Interesting.
So they don't not play ever.
That's different. And I can...
I've watched football for like 4 years, and I've only ever seen one game postponed by one day.
And I suppose you could argue that morale's
morale's a huge
That would be a
component
big
of it.
thing.
Yeah, you get into like a rhythm, and if you start...
But here's the thing, again, like, just to keep it with this analogy, there's no stakes. You've got money at best.
Well, okay, if you're actually comparing it to war, there's no stakes in by comparison. But there's still, for them, there's stakes, and for the fans, there's stakes. Like getting, I follow the Green Bay Packers, or last season I did, and that was my team, and they went...
Why not this season?
Because I'm not really, I don't live there, I don't live in a state, I kind of prefer just to follow like players I like and teams that I like because of the players that are on the teams, rather than just... Like, I followed the 49ers for like 2 years, and then all their veterans left and everything went to shit, and I was like, well, they're just not really a good team anymore.
I like the...
It's not the team I liked.
I like the Albert Sykes.
Oh, see, look, that's a sport, and it's a great one.
That is a sport. That's actually a great sport.
I don't know even what I was saying. What were we talking about?
Just sport.
Just sport. That was vague.
My thing is, I don't know. I just don't...
No, sorry. The stakes.
Yep.
So we got into the playoffs, and we were in the championship game, I believe. Maybe one before the championship game. And that's the one game before the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And shit just got so real. We were losing. He throws a Hail
That's my other favourite part, when you start to refer... Yeah.
It's your team. You're part of it. Losing with like a minute or two to go. Throws a Hail Mary down the field, like 80 yards, and ties the game.
Yep.
And then goes into overtime and just fucking loses. And it was just the most crushing defeat I've ever experienced in my life, because I already thought we were losing, and then this fucking miraculous Hail Mary goes down, and my heart was like in my throat, because I was like, I can't believe this just happened. I was so excited, and then I just got absolutely crushed in the overtime.
Govinda, have you ever heard the phrase bread and circuses?
No.
Bread and circuses is sort of like a quote that a writer wrote about the decline of the Roman Empire, and how the best way to keep a people who are falling from glory, like who were once great, happy, is to give them cheap food and give them a spectacle. Give them something else to think about. Now, let me take it this far. Is it easier to like forget about all the things that are like... Think about like Donald Trump and stuff. Is it... Like, it's kind of nice to have something to distract from that, right? I'm trying to, like, I don't know anything about the Super Bowl, but I was trying to see if that, like, maybe...
No, see, okay.
Does that line up?
Bad comparison, mainly because the Super Bowl's not happening now. Or the playoffs, the football's not on right now. It's the end of the season.
Oh, okay, that's
It's the off-season, so Donald Trump campaigning doesn't really matter. And it doesn't really distract, because it doesn't really take away from the news.
But can you see the comparison there? Like, football's probably the most violent.
No, because it was never introduced because one person was trying to get into power, and they're like, let's distract everyone by making up a game and using that.
No, but they have used it that way.
I get it, but that's not what it is now.
But you can see the comparison. Like, it's a fairly violent sport for people to get behind. Like, you would have your team, you want to see that person or those people win, and you can kind of like forget your own worries and kind of like project yourself into their glory.
The same can be said for video games, 100%. Like,
I suppose
you try and
so.
escape your reality by spending 8 hours playing a game.
Yeah, I suppose so. But it's different.
Why?
Because